World No Tobacco Day informs the public of the dangers of tobacco. It's observed every day around the world on May 31st.
First Alert reporter John Chapman was in Hanscom Park this morning, where volunteers started working against the negative effects of tobacco trash.
Omaha's Hanscom Park can be a very beautiful place, but if you look really close, it's not hard to find ugly. Cigarette butts are all over the place. Metro Omaha Tobacco Action Coalition started its World No Tobacco Day work a little early by cleaning up cigarette butts littered throughout the park.
Cigarette butts are the #1 littered item in the world, and those cigarette butts still have those harmful chemicals that you find in tobacco, and they are leaching into our environment. And so that's why we're here today to kind of raise awareness about our Tobacco-Free Parks initiative here in Omaha.
Organizers of the cleanup hope this event makes more people not only aware of the dangers of cigarettes, but the dangers cigarette trash can create.
We find those cigarette butts in the parking areas, but also in the playground areas where kids play. But also it impacts the wildlife here in the parks. Animals can get access to those litter that we find here.
The group of volunteers working to clean up Hanscom Park took a break long enough to take a picture to capture the moment. Maggie Rasmussen is one of those volunteers. Maggie says the danger this tobacco trash creates could be eliminated if smokers would do one simple thing.
It's a little hard on the environment. It's not safe for, kids in case they pick them up, or small kids, and if they don't know what it is, put it in their mouth. So it's just important for folks to remember to discard any trash, especially cigarettes, into the trash cans.
In Omaha, I'm John Chapman, First Alert 6.
Yes, and there are plenty of trash cans available there at Hanscom Park. The World Health Organization created World No Tobacco Day back in 1987. This year's observation focuses on flavored tobacco products that organizers feel target young people